You have to cuss and demean women and all those sorts of things. It's beyond being a family event. It's about where we are as a people. You understand what I'm saying? So when you come up and your lyrics are not representative of who you truly want to be as a human being, and you're wasting your own time, nobody gets record deals or whatever because they swear a lot, because all this whole stuff, all these things that make our community look negative. Don't get caught up with Meek Mill and all these guys. There's going to be exceptions all the time, right? There's going to be exceptions all the time. But you've got to say to yourself, how am I representing my community, my family name, my mother, my 5-year-old little youths in the room, etc. It's deeper than just swearing. You understand? It's why you swear. Why you feel you have to do that. So if I'm judging something, I mean, this is, like you said, it's a community event, family event, when it's not a big deal, but it is a big deal. Because if you can't find words in the English language that can express yourself beyond using F words and this word, 4-letter words, then you're not a poet. Straight goods. You're just not a poet. Because you're copying out every time you do it. Understand that. I'm not, obviously you guys can't change your songs over like in 5 minutes because I'm saying it. But understand that it's depressing. And that's why our community's depressed.
And oppressed.
Right? Oh no, oppression comes from the external, but depression is within. If we can't say positive things or creative things without using profanity, then we got a serious problem. Okay, so anybody who's aspiring to be an artist, a writer, whatever it is, understand it's a lot deeper. If you think it's cool to cuss, right, see how far it's going to get you, because I'm not playing you on the radio, guarantee that, right, and nobody else will. And people wonder why there's no radio for our music in the country. We've got to be more creative. Use the English language for what it's meant to be used for. Hip-hop is an extension of poetry. Right? So if that kind of language is how you feel, is the only way you know how to express yourself, right? You're not a poet. Straight goods. Right? So my advice would be get out of the game if you can't handle it. Right? Simple. Think about what you're doing. Think about how you're adding to the music industry, not being part of it. There's a difference between being part of an industry and contributing to an industry. Think of all the greatest writers and what they do. The songs that transcend time and transcend culture, etc., etc. The songs that have some level, extreme level of creativity or meaningful contribution. Right? Anybody ever heard of a guy named Robert Nesta Marley? There's a reason the songs will last for another 40 years. Okay? All these tracks you guys are listening to that's corrupting your mind, or you're allowing to corrupt your mind and will corrupt the way you write, those songs will not be remembered 3 years from now. Guarantee you. Okay? So try to be more creative. Try to be more poetic. Try to be more constructive. Try to contribute to the art form in a meaningful way. And then people will start to talk to you about what's called the business of the music industry. Right? Because just so you guys know, somebody who can write makes 3 times the money as somebody who can perform. Straight goods. Because their music gets played everywhere. But once you start putting those F-bombs and all that stuff in there, you're just saying, okay, this radio station's not playing it, that one's not playing it, I'm not going to get video played, etc., etc., etc. I sit on the board of Video Fact, what's called Much Fact now. We get 300 submissions 6 times a year. That's 1,800 tracks come in. And as soon as we hit an F-bomb, it goes in the garbage. So you don't get a video grant, which could be anywhere from a small promotional video of $3,500 to $25,000. But you're not going to get a grant if you cannot articulate your meaning without cussing all the time. And talking about women like they don't mean anything. And trying to come off like you shoot 5 people a week. It's ridiculous. Like seriously, think about it, please, man.